you that you should scale your meta ads when you find something that works. Everyone is telling you, oh, you should scale, let's go ahead and scale, let's spend more to make more. And sometimes that's not the best idea. So today I want to share with you some examples where you should not be scaling your ads, even if you have a proven funnel and a proven offer. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this piece of content. Today, again, I want to share with you that because, there's kind of a myth going on when it comes to advertising on Meta and in any platform for that matter, is that the minute that you start seeing something that works, you need to scale it, and you need to scale it as fast as possible, as hard as possible. And, I've been working in the digital marketing space for a decade and a half, and I've been servicing clients with their own meta ads for the past probably 8 to 9 years. And, Scale Driven, which is my agency, we've seen a lot of clients that they come to us because they have a working offer and a working funnel, and they come to us because they want to scale. But when we do scale, their business breaks. Okay, so today I want to share with you when not to scale your ads so that you can actually avoid these pitfalls and actually scale in a good, responsible way that will be conducive for your business growth. Okay, now with that said, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you sell anything high ticket on the phone, maybe a service, maybe a course, maybe a program, if you sell information of any kind, if you're an expert, maybe you have a book, maybe you have a couple courses, and you're advertising right now, but for some reason your ads are not performing the way they used to, maybe a couple months ago, a couple years ago, or you notice that you hit a glass ceiling and for some reason you cannot pierce through that, I'm here to help you. Go to makemyadsgreatagain.com. There's a message waiting for you there right now. So take a look at that message. Watch that video, and if you resonate with that message, you can schedule a call with somebody in my team. So let's jump right into it and talk about the situations where you should not be scaling your ads. And again, we serve mostly coaches, consultants, people that sell information, people that sell courses, certifications on the phone because they're mostly expensive. And I keep on saying that this is one of the hardest things to do from social media ads. We're talking that we need to sell these high ticket things to strangers. How do we do it? Well, I talked a lot about how we do it, but today I want to tell you what not to do and how not to scale or when not to scale your advertising campaigns. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So the first thing that you need to consider when it comes to scaling is that the math that you use to launch a campaign is not the math that you use to scale a campaign. When you have a working offer or a working funnel or something like that, the math that you will use to launch is not the same math that you will use to scale. So the first thing that you need to consider is what's after somebody buy your main offer. Let's say that you're selling a high ticket coaching program for $3,000, $2,000, $5,000, right? The question that you need to ask yourself is, okay, now I have a $5,000 buyer. What else can I offer them? What else can I sell to them? I have this example of a client of us, great entrepreneurs, and they were always stuck at the $20,000 mark or $15,000 mark on ads. And when we tried to scale, their funnel simply couldn't take it. So what we did for them is we sat down and we helped them come up with a backend, like a higher backend that will allow them to actually generate more revenue. So their coaching program is around $5,000. It's great, it's amazing, and they get a lot of results for the clients and their students, but they didn't have any backend, they didn't have any mastermind, they didn't have anything else. So we helped them develop that. I think they were charging 12 grand for the full year, just as a test. And lo and behold, they were able to scale that. And now we're spending $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month on ads with a really good ROI just because they added this backend. We also help them increase their prices. So when you think about it, some people or most people come to us because they only have one product, one offer, and that's good. But then you need to think about, okay, what's on my backend? What else can I offer to them? A lot of people come to us because they might have a product suite, or they might have a couple books or a couple courses, and they don't have anything high ticket, or they might have a community. I recorded a video on how to grow a school community, so thank you for your support. It's doing really, really well on the YouTubes. So go check it out, but there's no back in there, right? There's nothing else that you can offer to these people. So the first thing that you want to do, again, in order for you to scale, is to think about the back end, because once you scale, your advertising costs are going to go up. So you want to make sure that you have a back end ready to go. Okay, so that's, if you don't have a back end, it's not a good idea to scale. Just keep things, stable. and develop a backend and pitch it to your list and to your audience, right? And to your current customers. And then once you crack that code, then you can start scaling like crazy, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is that a lot of people, again, a lot of entrepreneurs, if they don't scale, they're going bankrupt, okay? And that's not a sustainable model. You need to be able to take a profit or to turn a profit at your current scale. Because if you're not taking a profit at your current scale, what's going to happen is that as you scale your ads, let's say that you go from $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month to $100,000 a month, which is something that we help our clients do all the time, then your costs are bound to go up. Your cost per lead, your cost per click, your cost per booked appointment, your cost per purchase, how much you're paying to acquire a customer, they're going to go up no matter what we do, no matter what you do. So if you don't have a profit right now, if your business is not profitable right now, scaling your advertising spend is not going to help you with your profitability. In fact, profitability and scale are kind of on opposite sides, okay? The more you scale, the least profitable you're gonna be, at least on those campaigns and on that front end. So that takes me back to the back end side of things. That's why you need to have a back end, okay? So if you're going bankrupt right now, if you don't have huge margins or nice margins right now, then I would advise against scaling and maybe increase your prices, maybe add some other offers so you can increase your margins and you can make more money and take more profit home so that you can actually scale, because your profitability is going to shrink because now you're pouring more money on growing your company, okay? So that's the other thing. The next thing, when you do not want to scale, is that if you're afraid of losing money. As I mentioned before, if you're super profitable right now, as you scale your ads, your profitability will shrink. Let's say that right now you're spending, again, $10,000, $15,000 a month, and you get buyers for $1,000, right? Just an example. You get buyers for $1,000. So you might very well think that that's the reality. And that is at this current ad spend. Now, if you go from $10,000, $15,000 a month, all the way up to $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, $200,000 a month, what's going to happen is that your cost to acquire customers is going to go up. So your profitability is also going to shrink. So you will go from maybe $1,000 to acquiring customers to $2,500 to acquire customers, just because you're scaling, right? That takes me back to the back end side of things. What else is there for, what else is there for them, right? How else you can give them more value and you can actually monetize that relationship that you have built. So that is really, really important. So if you're afraid of losing money, if you're afraid of your ROI shrinking, then you might not be ready to scale. It's okay, right? A lot of businesses, they just want to be super profitable and they don't really want to, they don't really want to scale too big, and that's completely fine, right? But this is a business decision that you need to make. Do you want to go big or do you want to stay profitable as possible? And that's fine, right? So you can do both as long as you keep on adding offers and you keep on servicing your clients. And last but not least, which is something that we see with coaches, consultants, and information people a lot, is that they're scaling too big too soon, and then the bottlenecks start showing up. One of the biggest bottlenecks that I see when it comes to coaches, consultants that they're trying to scale is sales. That's a huge bottleneck. So they go from not getting enough leads to not being able to close those leads in the best possible way. So for example, again, this example of this client that I told you that we helped them develop this backend, they've been with us for around a year now. And one of the things that they had is they had a sales problem. They thought that they had a marketing problem, but they didn't. They had enough leads, right? We were getting them enough leads, enough booked appointments and whatnot. So their calendars were full. Their sales team calendar were full, but their sales team wasn't producing. So what they did is they fired everyone in their sales team and they got back on the phone and they got their best month ever in the story of their business. So, that goes to show you that they didn't have a marketing problem, they had a sales process problem. Because once you're booked solid with calls, let's say that you're the one taking calls or you have a team taking calls, once they're booked solid, you need to bring in more people to your sales team, and you need to train them, and you need to manage them, and you need to set up the processes. So that's a completely different ballgame versus you doing the closing or maybe having a small team doing the closing. So the more you scale your marketing, you need to also scale the sales machine to put up with that demand. And that is not easy. So if you scale this, you're going to be losing a lot of money because all of these leads you won't be able to convert, Okay, so we need to scale sustainably so that you can scale your marketing, scale your sales team, scale your marketing, scale your sales team, and all of that good stuff. Another bottleneck that comes up, especially for small business owners, is operations. If you're the expert, and if you're the expert, you're taking sales calls, and you're also servicing these clients, or maybe you have a couple people working for you, the next bottleneck that's going to happen is operations. Especially for coaches and consultants, you need to deliver on the promise that you made these people on that that you would say you would do. So operations is also a big bottleneck, because now you're getting more students, but you're not able to free up more of your time to serve these students. So scaling too big too soon might also bring up an operations problem, the fulfillment problem, right? So now you need to bring in coaches, you need to help them, you need to grow them, and you need to nurture them, and you need to train them and set up all of the processes that have to do with delivery or product, right? So that's a completely different story. So again, scaling too big too soon your marketing might get you in trouble when it comes to fulfillment, when it comes to sales and whatnot. So it's almost always a good idea to scale slowly on the marketing side of things so that you can put up with the operations on the back. And this is a big pain point that a lot of coaches, consultants, information people go through, because again, they're either taking sales or they're taking care of everything on their own, and that could be a big problem. Okay, so there you have it. There's 4 reasons why you shouldn't be scaling your campaigns, and you would be better off by taking it slower, scale for sure, instead of scaling too quick, and then you have to pull back, then you have to maybe get rid of people or let people go and whatnot, and it's fine, right? It's business. But if you scale slower and surely, then you will be on a way better spot over the long run. Okay, because this is a marathon, this is not a sprint. All right, so I hope that this is helpful. Again, if you are at any of these points right now and you need help scaling, and you don't want to take care of the ads, or maybe you hire somebody that they took you from where you're at to $15,000, $20,000 a month, but they won't, for some reason they're not able to scale or help you scale, we're happy to take a look. Okay, we'll be happy to take a look, tell you what we would do in your position. So go to makemyadsgreatagain.com. There's a message waiting for you there right now, and if you resonate with that message, you can schedule a call with me or somebody in my team, and we'll be more than happy to take a look at what you have going on, and if it works, and if we can work together, we'll tell you how it will work. If it's not a good fit, we'll also tell you. Go to makemyadsgreatagain.com. I hope that this is helpful. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the DMs. I read all the messages. I read all the comments. So make sure that you drop them. I'll be more